So that was probably the most boring half of football that I have ever witnessed, and that includes preseason. Because at least preseason, you're rooting for this guy. Hey, I know that he's going to be stocking shelves at Lowe's in like a couple days here when they trim the 90-man roster. But I just like seeing him. And where's Kyle Sluter, by the way? Yeah. All right. So also we're scoreboard watching right now. So Saints are beating up on the Panthers 34 to nothing. So we got that going for us. Detroit's leading Green Bay 14 to nothing. Getting into although the Packers do have it inside the red zone. Minute 12 to go there. So the Vikings could be heading to 3 seed to Green Bay Packers rematch. Border battle, get down one more time. I actually feel pretty good about that. I feel better about going to Green Bay than I would going to Naula. By the way, even though the Teddy Bowl will be kind of fun. But first half so far, Vikings are trailing 11-6 in the no one scoring a touchdown bowl. Great, and it's just it's rough. It's been the Mike Boone show, both for good and for bad. I mean, obviously, he's leading the way with 126 yards rushing. Had that nice 59-yard run to start things off. Yeah, where was this 6 days ago, Mike? Mike Boone. And then they started booing after he fumbled, and then he set up that interception. But whatever. But also, you look defensively, like the Vikings don't care. Like the Vikings are just trying to get through this game relatively healthy. Allen Robinson's out here cooking backup linebackers and coverage, and it's just who cares? Did Hunter get his half a sack yet? I don't think he did. Yeah. Daniil trying to get half a sack, trying to get that extra $1,000,000, but it doesn't look like anything's going on. If you have questions in the chat, toss them in the super chat. We'll make sure that they will be getting answered. There you go. Matthew Collins, surprised our backup offensive line is playing equally well against our starters. Well, here's the thing, too. Like, the Bears have nothing to play for. Yeah, Khalil Mack is out there, but also they don't have Eddie Goldman. They don't have Akeem Hicks. But it is nice to see that some of these guys are looking pretty decent. I mean, Aviante Collins out there doing things. Oli Udo and Drew Samir are actually getting a chance to do something out there, which is kind of nice. And I like seeing it because the offensive line still going to be a work in progress. Still want to see the Vikings throw some resources behind it, especially an early draft pick, as well as maybe potentially some free agency. But also, I'm excited to see what Udo and Drew Samia can do in year two. Hopefully, they actually get off the bench and get a little bit more game day active as we go along here. Matt Wags can't help to think that Kyle Sluter would be playing better. Yeah. The thing about like coaches in the NFL is that they're conservative by nature, and you're always going to go with the safer pick as opposed to the wild card. Like, if the NFL coaches were on like some of those old game shows, they've never picked door number 3. They would never pick the mystery box. Deal or no deal, they would always take the deal. They would never say no deal. They're like, we'll go with the safe route. Sean Mannion is the safe route. Like, you're not going to get fired playing Sean Mannion or having him as your backup. You will get fired if you have a high variance, high risk, high reward guy like Kyle Sluter as your backup, which is annoying. All right, so here. Dylan knows, will Kirk Cousins ever take his helmet off? Yeah, we put that joke out on Twitter. It's like, oh, Kirk Cousins has his helmet on, showing up Sean Mannion. What a terrible teammate, because it's all about him. Now, that is a callback to back when Teddy was first active again in 2017 when Case Keenum was doing his Case Keenum things. And Teddy would wear his helmet on the sidelines. And people who weren't even fans of Teddy to begin with were just ripping up and down. It's like, oh, look at Teddy. It's showing up Case Keenum on the sideline. What a terrible teammate. It's whatever. But, also, I actually feel like Kirk Cousins is the type of guy who would really care about a consecutive start streak. Where I'm sure he was probably lobbing. It's like, hey Mike, hey Zim, just let me start the first play. I'll just hand it off to Booney, or I'll just take a knee. Even just let me out there so I can count one. Yeah. Skull Prod, $2 in the super chat. Love the vids, love you, man. All right, let's see what else here. Yeah, go Lions. Yeah, one time for the Lions. How frustrating would it be if the Vikings actually prevailed on Monday night and the Lions are taking it to the Packers? Let's see here. Did the Packers hold? Oh, they got a field goal. So 14-3 Detroit. I mean, just how frustrating would that be? And then also the Vikings will be woodshedding the Bears right now because they actually have something to play for. I actually feel bad for the people who weeks ago, or maybe as a Christmas present, gave away Bears Vikings tickets. I guess they wouldn't have known when they bought them unless they bought them after Monday night, which it could be a while. But like a week 17 home game after Christmas, holidays is still in full swing. Going to the Vikings game, taking our little kid to the first Vikings game ever, and then this. I hope you didn't pay face value or higher, because that would be not so much. Andrew Missouri, thanks for the content. Thank you guys for consuming it, man, because here's the thing. Like, we obviously wouldn't be doing this if people weren't watching, even though it's a lot of fun to do, and it's something that comes easy and natural to us. I mean, we're into the Vikings. We want to talk about the Vikings, and it's cool to just build up this community of Jeromes, and we can agree, we can disagree, but we always have a lot of fun. Don't take it too seriously. So thank you for providing us this community and this platform. It's a lot of fun, even though we all go off on the hate speech, and then we get banned. Whatever. TA Gaming, $2 in the super chat. Hope our starters are ready for Green Bay next week. Yeah, it's starting to look like that because Detroit got a field goal at the end. So 17-13 at the half, and if Green Bay loses and the Saints win, which looks like it's going to happen, the Packers are going to be slotted into the 3 seed. So there you go. Andrew Missouri, $4 in the super chat. Also an emoji with the coffee. Sorry, got back from the dishwasher. Oh, the Green Bay tears, getting it on. Focus. There we go. You can get this in the merch. Actually, I could put this in the merch, right? Green Bay Tears mug, pin. There you go. I'm still figuring out how all this live streaming stuff works. It's very intriguing technology. There you go. Mama Chip, we lost the division because Stefanski was too chicken to run the damn football with Boone. Now he's laying it up. Sheesh. Well, to a degree. Well, they were just pounding Boone in between the tackles, just trying to dive him. They were getting away from what has worked all season. They didn't do outside zone. They didn't run play action. They didn't run screens to Mike Boone. So, yeah, Stefanski definitely deserves his lump of crow for the way that Monday played out. But also, Boone was relatively ineffective behind that offensive line. Let's see here. What else here? We do need to get a replacement for Loco up there. No, that was rough. That was like drinking paint thinner with booze in it. It was not great. Yeah, let's see what else here. XTX Wolf. I'd be kind of pissed if we win next week because I want Mike Zimmer gone. That's sort of like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like you're actually rooting against the well-being of your football team just because you want a certain outcome. It's like it gets into politics. Like you want, we don't get political on the channel, but it's like you're actively rooting for us to do bad just because you want your side to win or you want your point of view to win. It's like, okay, sure. Let's hear. The game is back on, but yeah, we're going to talk here for a couple more minutes because A, we were late, and B, this game is just ass. So it's like, whatever. Nevada Matt, Grassi Posse going down. Yeah, I get a lot of messages about Grassi, the Packers guy, which he does what we do, but he does it better. So respect to what I do there. We're working on it, sure. Hell, if we do in the playoffs, maybe we will do a collab. I don't know. Even though like collabs aren't really my thing, mainly because I'm too lazy. That's right. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. All right. A Viker 20. I think Boone keeps at it. He can break AP single game record. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. So he's at 126 now. How hilarious would that be if Mike Boone just goes for 300 on 17 carries? That'd be great. Let's see here. Rugby Man 22. Zimmer needs to go. Great DC. Awful head coach. I sort of agree with that. And, the theory is like, just demote Zimmer to defensive coordinator. I don't think he would ever do that. But also, have we seen Zimmer's teams not play up to snuff in big games enough that we think that it's part of a trend. I mean, the 2017 NFC title game where it's like everything's on the line, biggest game of pretty much all these players' career except for Linval, who won a Super Bowl back in the day with the Giants. And you're just looking at it like you turn in that performance when you have a home Super Bowl on the line, and like we've gone through the list of just duds of there are basically a game or two every single year where Zimmer's team fails to show up, and sometimes they are in big time spots like this year. Both Packers games and the Chicago game on the road where he could have stole that one would have greatly helped in the standings as well as in divisional tiebreakers, but no, you just mail it in. And everyone goes to, well, it's like, well, that's not Zimmer's fault or the offense is Zimmer's fault. He's the head coach. Everything is his fault. Everything is his fault, right? And I know because I do love Mike Zimmer. I think he was a breath of fresh air after Leslie Frazier. He did tune up this defense really good. But also, eventually you just have to take it to the next level. Otherwise, what are we doing here? It is a pooper. Get off the pot. Darian, I hate it here. It's purgatory. Now, this chat or this game, I don't know. I could go with both. Adam Maverick, Walsh's chip shot miss wasn't Zimmer's fault. No, agree. But also, Blair Walsh doesn't deserve all the blame for that game because you know who was the only one who scored points for the Vikings that game? Blair Walsh. Yeah, and also kicked multiple 40-yard field goals in that weather, which is pretty damn amazing. It is Zimmer's fault and also North's fault when they got too damn conservative when they got into field goal range because they're like, they pulled the brakes. They absolutely put the brakes on Teddy. It's like, all right, do not screw this up. We are not going to go aggressive, even though the first touchdown was going to win that game. I said it before the game, said it during the game. First one to put 6 on the board was going to win that game, and they got way too conservative when they were in spots where they were in field goal range. They're like, all right, they just settled, all right, and that's fully on Mike Zimmer, even though at the end, yeah, it's kind of on Blair Walsh. Let's hear. Corn, stream the rest of the game, please. I'm actually kind of considering it, but also I'm trying to do some other stuff, put together some other videos, so then I don't have to do it later because I'm sort of burnt out. Like, whatever. Yeah, Patriots going up. Let's go through the games right now. All right, so Dolphins, Patriots tied 10-10 at the half. Jets are leading Buffalo 3-0. Buffalo essentially doesn't have anything to play for. Saints putting on the Panthers. The Bengals are up 20-16 on the Browns at halftime. It looks like they're getting set up to kick a field goal or get into field goal range. Chiefs are leading the Chargers 10-7 heading into the second half. And also the Falcons leading the Buccaneers 16-14. Also, yeah, Jameis Winston throw for 5,000 yards. Is there anything that is less reliable as an indicator of quality of a quarterback than passing yardage? I think passing yardage might be, because here's the thing. All right, so Drew Brees and Jameis Winston each threw for 5,000 yards. Drew Brees was NFL MVP. Jameis Winston probably isn't in the top 20 in terms of guys you'd want starting as your starting quarterback. Like, how big of a vacillation is that? It's a lot. Like, black and white passing yardage is not a great indicator of quarterback quality. Where, like, this year, all right, so last year, Kirk Cousins threw for almost 4,300 passing yards. This year, he threw for nearly 700 less, minus one game. Yes, because he sat this game. Looks like the Bears just got in the end zone. Hey, congratulations. Hey, nice rugby scrum, David Montgomery. By the way, David Montgomery, pissant. Thanks for all the help in fantasy football this year, you mofo. Man, fantasy football brings out the worst in people, doesn't it? Like, you're either actively rooting against a player or you're trying to shame a player because they didn't produce for your fake football team. But that's how it is. That's the fun of fantasy football too. So here, Billy Long would rather see Rick gone. I could see the argument for that, but also Spielman has done a great job of assembling talent here, other than offensive line. Although Bradbury and Brian O'Neill look like 10 poles, and Josh Klein was a great free agent signing. But also, you can make that same argument as you made with Zimmer. It's like, have you plateaued? Yeah. Are you good but not great? Are you great but not elite? And then also, if they fired Spielman and just elevated George Payton, they would keep continuity, but also would have some fresh leadership up top. And also, like Rick Spielman, say they do fire Zimmer or they sell Zimmer off to Dallas, which, it's fine. Spielman would now be picking his third head coach. Generally, you don't get to pick a third head coach. Well, unless you're Steve Keim, who I have no idea how Steve Keim, this is a familiar rant for people who watch the channel. How does Steve Keim still have a job? A, he was in prison. B, he hired a coach last year, fired him after 1 year. The coach that he picked, by the way. They sold Josh Rosen for pennies on the dollar, the quarterback that they drafted in the top 10. And also, it looks like they are trying to part ways with David Johnson, the running back that he, at the time, made the highest paid running back in the NFL in favor of Kenyon Drake, which, at what point is it Steve Keim's fault? Trimmed him a long time ago, right? And also, the resurgence of Arizona. I mean, I believe that Bruce Arians deserves a lot more credit than Steve Keim. How did the Robert Kimdichie pick work out? How have those other first-round busts worked out? Oh, congratulations for trading for Chandler Jones. Oh, yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, that was a really tough decision, but yeah. All right, let's see here. What else here? Yeah, congrats to the Bears for looking great against the Vikings backups, too. It's just really, really a great game. They're just trying to get to 8-8. That's all it is. Let's see what else here. Ron Jones, the fans are getting their money's worth at the game. Yeah, they better be getting drunk. Or I feel like the Vikings should give away like a free drink ticket to everyone. So a free 16-ounce beer or soda of your choice, or pop of your choice. I almost slipped up there. Let's give some shout outs here. Well, everyone in the chat say where they're watching the game from, they're watching the stream from. I always like doing that because, when you think about a team like regionally, you think it's like, oh, it's going to be all state. But I feel like, the show, people who consume the show are from all over the place just because, they can't really get Viking specific content. Like if you live in Dothan, Alabama, like how much Vikings content you getting on the local TV? No, it's all going to be Roll Tide. Shit. All right. Yeah. How about them Lions? 17-13 one time. David Bling Blang Blau doing things. You know what's the real catalyst of it? Kyle Jerome Sluter. He's probably back there. He's like, hey, David Blau, stop playing like ass. And he's listening because that's what you do. You listen to. All right, so we got Oregon, we got Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, we got Andover, Minnesota, we got West Defy, Powerful Mankato, what's up? Got Ohio, Southwest Minnesota, Eureka, California, Farmington, South Metro represent, Iowa City, go Hawks, no screw Hawks, Laredo, Texas, Denver, Syracuse, South Carolina, Elbow Lake, Minnesota, Blaine, Corona, California, Corona, Minnesota, yeah, right. RN $2 in the super chat. Not watching the game. Obviously, purple for the win though. Love you. Yeah, this game is not worth watching. Like, even though Mike Boone is gonna go for 300. Let's go. See here. Memphis, Antarctica. Doubt that. Roseville, Arizona. Let's see here. Elko, Nevada. North Dakota, been here getting disappointed for 23 straight years. Now, is that because of North Dakota or is that because of the Vikings? Nah, just kidding. I actually really like North Dakota. Beautiful state, beautiful scenery. Got some of that oil money. Well, used to have some of that oil money. Then they spent that oil money. Pebble Beach. I love Pebble Beach. I just love the SoCal weather in general. If you just got rid of the congestion and some of the some of the homeless situation, which is not great, which, getting into the issues of the day, letting homeless people just squat and live in squalor is not helping them. Like it just is not helping them. It's just, it tries to make you look good. It's like, oh, we're a very open city here, but no, it's just, it leads to a lot of issues, and you're not doing those people any favors. You're just using them as a political football. It's here. The Ohio State University. How'd that work out yesterday? Hotlanta, Nashville. Go Hawks. Holy Toledo, Ohio. New Brighton, Auburn, New York in the house. Hawaii, brah. Sacramento. That's right. I also love NoCal too. I love Southern California for the weather. I love Northern California because of the people. I feel like they're Californians, but they're like definitely a different strain of Californians where they're still laid back, but you do have frankly, a lot of Midwestern values, a lot of hardworking, a lot of really nice people up there. Love Sacramento. Love the Southern Bay Area. Love Stockton. Not just because of the Diaz brothers. Stockton, bitch. That's right. How long has the stream's been going? 20 minutes? Sure. God, this game sucks. And also, for the Bears, you know that Khalil Mack is only playing because of he wants to get his stats up. That's all. Yeah, but good luck against Dakota Dozier, son. Yeah, Khalil Mack has never gone up against a fearsome offensive lineman like Dakota Dozier. Yeah, at 4th 11, Vikings down 18-6. What was the over under this game? It was like 36 or something ridiculous like that. All right, toss in the chat. Who do you guys want to play a wild card weekend? Because I got my pick. I certainly got my pick. I want the Packers. Let's do this again. Also trying to remember who I bet on. All right, 24. All right, so over under of Bears Vikings was 35.5. It's looking pretty great right now. Andrew Skull from Mesa, Arizona, originally from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. That's right. Yeah, I want the Packers. Yeah. A little bit of unfinished business, and it's hard to beat a team thrice in a season. It really is, just because of familiarity. And also, I mean, if you're a player on the Vikings and you're not motivated by that complete turd nugget that you mailed in Monday night on national TV in your home stadium with the division on the line, I mean, what can you be motivated by? Then you're just cashing the paycheck. Congratulations. Yeah. But, so I was reading this article on Pro Football Talk where they, actually, I'm going to bring it up. They list all of the free agent quarterbacks to be in 2020. And it could be an interesting free agent class for the quarterbacks. So here you go. Tom Brady is a free agent. Tannehill, Marcus Mariota, Phillip Rivers, Eli, Case Keenum, Dak Prescott, Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, Blake Bortles, and then also some guys who could be let go. If it's tragic, Josh Rosen, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, Flacco, Derek Carr, Cam Newton. There's a name missing. There is a certain name missing on here. Oh, looky, Teddy Bridgewater, who will probably be the highest paid free agent of all of them. Maybe not Tannehill. Because Tannehill has kind of earned himself some money, although I think Tennessee is probably going to slap the franchise tag on him. TA Game and $2 in the Super Chat. I'd love to see Diggs shoot the moon next week. How great would that be? Yeah, we're Diggs with an homage to Randy Moss. Yeah, and also, was it Diggs has a touchdown against Green Bay in 7 straight games? Which is pretty redonkulous if you think about it. Yeah. Let's see what else here. Lucky 7 Gaming. Imagine Sluter slinging that rock around right now. Yeah. There's nothing. People really get militant about their feelings about a certain player. Where people who always trash Teddy, or people who always trash Kyle Sluter, there's like, he's playing against backups, or Teddy will never be a winning starting quarterback. Okay, sure, why not? Sure. But I have high hopes for Kyle Sluter. Actually wouldn't mind if they brought him back. Although it feels like Zimmer and Sluter never saw eye to eye. So I don't think that was going to work out anyway. But how great would that be? So Zimmer gets sold to the Cowboys or just gets fired, whatever. And then Stefanski is like, bring it on back. Run it back, baby. And they bring back Kyle Jerome, Ezekiel Sluter, back up Kirk Cousins. And they develop him and they groom him to be the starter after Cousins leaves after 2020. Delightful. It's delightful. And also they draft a quarterback in the mid rounds too. See what there. TA game and BRB. Going to see how hard Tom Grossi is crying. All right, because he live streams the games. I think that's a good idea. Maybe I should steal that idea. Because here's the thing. I never have original ideas. I just steal other people's ideas. Because that's how I roll. Oh, look. Mitch Trubisky throwing to the right. Just weird. Odd how that happens. I don't even know what our winners and losers video is going to be. Because I'll admit, I haven't been watching like half this game. This is going to be the laziest winners and losers video ever. And that's saying a lot. So right now, I'll just say Weatherly, Wilson, Boone, Irv, not Mannion. Oh, Sendejo for getting a personal foul by throwing Tariq Cohen's shoe to the Viking sideline. That's great. Who throws a shoe? Yeah, and I say screw throwing the football. I say just run the piss out of it with Mike Boone. Give him 40 carries. Just trying to get him over 300 because that would be hilarious. Or do you actually think that the Vikings treat Adrian's 296 as some sort of sacred cow? Like if Dalvin was knocking on the back door, say Dalvin had 275 towards the end of in the fourth quarter of a game that the Vikings were winning by like 30, right? They keep giving Dalvin the ball. Or they'd be like, oh, we have to save Dalvin from himself. We have to keep him fresh. Or it'd be like, oh, no, you just don't want anyone to break Adrian's record. Even though the 300 would be so tight. So tight. All right. Second round, we are drafting Jalen Hurts. I'm still not sold on Hurts as an NFL quarterback. I'm just really not. Like, he played great this year. Yeah, he deserved to be on the be a Heisman finalist, except I just don't know if he has the mechanics or the accuracy to be an NFL quarterback. I just really don't. Ahal's Demon, I was so upset when we gave up on Teddy. We should give him a chance after we drafted him in the first round. Oh, what a waste of a first round pick. I was one of the biggest Teddy supporters in the world, but I understood why the Vikings went with Cousins, because even though $84 million guaranteed contract, record-setting contract, blah, blah, blah. It was the safe pick because Keenum, that was a flash in the pan. Keenum wasn't going to be able to replicate that. And Teddy, you just didn't know with that knee, where you have all the doctors in-house, you all have Sugarman in-house. Just look at that knee, and they're saying, no, this probably isn't a good bet. I mean, you have to believe in your people, right? Even though it looks like they were wrong, because it looks like Teddy looked pretty damn fine when he was going undefeated with the Saints. Looking pretty damn good as well. Also, he's probably going to get in, I'm guessing, in this lopsided Saints to Panthers game. Because what's the point of keeping trying Drew Brees out there? Because Teddy has 9 touchdowns, by the way. And if he gets one more, he gets like a $250,000 bonus, which would be pretty damn sweet for number 5. But also Teddy, looking for agency, he's going to get paid somewhere. Like he is going to get paid in the shade, and I couldn't be happier. Like even if Teddy goes like Detroit or Chicago, like I'm still going to root for that kid, except for when they're playing the Vikings. Yes, fully understand that, but I mean, there is a guy who headed into his 3rd season, had added weight, added strength, was set to really make that leap into becoming one of the better, top 10 elite starting quarterbacks in this league. And then his leg fell off. And then he's able to work his way back, become the highest paid backup in the league. And then eventually, once he gets his chance, he takes advantage of it, goes undefeated as a starter, looks great in those games. And you're supposed to root against this guy? Okay. Yeah, and there are some hardcore, like, anti-Teddy people who are still, their ass is so stuck in the mud. They're like, no, I'm not rooting for this kid. No, I understand that he had this horrific injury that snatched away his dream and he's able to work his way back, but still, boo. Noodle arm Teddy. Oh, okay. I mean, you can choose to live your life that way, but no, I'm still rooting for him. Ryan Essenchak, Super Bro, do you live in the Twin Cities suburbs? I live in an undisclosed location in the Twin Cities. It is South Metro, but I'm not going to give away like my address. That'd be kind of weird. Yeah. Let's hear. Adderley Hoag. We need O-line, D-backs, and D-line. We should pay for a running quarterback and then use Thielen and Cook to trade. Um, Agree with the first part, not so much the second part, and not trading Thielen or Cook. Yeah, the whole running quarterback thing. Because imagine if the Vikings didn't go with Kirk Cousins, or they decided, you know what, we got Kirk, but we're still gonna double down on quarterback. Back in 2017, we're gonna take Lamar Jackson at 30 overall, and just let him sit behind Kirk, let him learn. They could both wear number 8. Don't really care. But just imagine how weird life would be. Paul Haywood 3. Trevor Lawrence for all the draft picks next draft. It wouldn't be the dumbest thing ever. I would be, because Trevor Lawrence is the legit real deal. I mean, watching him lead that comeback last night, you just tell like that kid has it. And yeah, if I'm Trevor Lawrence, say Clemson ends up beating LSU, and they got their second natty in a row. What more do you have to prove? I mean, you really don't have anything to prove. Like, sure, you want to come back and win the Heisman? Okay, sure, you could do that. You could cement your legacy as one of the best college football players of all time. Cool. I think you've already pretty much done that. But, I mean, you're risking a lot. Because, A, you get hurt, and then that hurts your draft stock. And also, what the draft pundits like to do is like they'll build you up just to tear you down, and familiarity breeds contempt. And so everything about his game that can be picked apart, even the smallest minute things, will get destroyed if he comes back for year 3. So I would, yeah, again, not in his shoes, but sitting out a year, just getting ready for the draft. I mean, old school football players are like, he obviously doesn't love the game. Baloney. He's just preserving his value. He would still be the number 1 pick if he sits out a year. Like, also, he could pull the ultimate me move and be like, I'm sitting out the national title game. We already got one, and I'm going to sit out all next year. He'll still be the number 1 overall pick in 2021. Still will be. $2 from RN Super Chat. Breeze down in playoffs. Teddy in. Root for the Saints. If they're not playing the Vikings, sure. And also, could you imagine? So say the playoff bracket breaks down where it's Vikings at Saints for the NFC title game. Teddy starting. Just all of the storylines. Back in NOLA, NFC title game. Teddy versus the Vikings. Latavius Murray versus the Vikings. Just be replete with interesting things. $3 from Ruben Perez in the Super Chat. Can I get a shout out for Reed Selecki? Yeah, shout out to Reed Selecki. That guy. Let's see what else here. Big 14, Dalvin has to go. We have Boone and Madison. Well, a couple things. So running back is the most replaceable position in the league, and also I think it has the shortest learning curve from the college game to the NFL. Flattest learning curve, I guess it'd be. But I mean, Dalvin is a special talent. I think you saw that Monday night. Vikings severely missed him, but also, would I be comfortable giving him, like top 3 running back money? I mean, you do have to factor in his health. But also, I mean, when he's on, you saw it this series, first team All-Pro. But is that worth Zeke money? Is that worth David Johnson type money? Is that worth Todd Gurley money? Like, how's the Gurley and David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell contracts working out for their respective teams? Like, just how's that going for them? So I don't know. Like, I would not be inclined to pay Dalvin at this offseason. I would say let it ride, let him play out his 4th year. If it comes to it, you can franchise tag him for a year. I would be fine doing that. Also, you'd have Kirk Cousins off the books. Plus, you'd have the 2021 salary cap on the new CBA. So it'd be more palatable. But I don't know. Like, running back is such a weird position. It really is. Let's do a couple more, and then I should probably pay attention. This is a game that doesn't matter. Hey, my guy Armon Watts is finally playing. Oh, look. Armon Watts is on the field, and good things are happening. Weird. Yeah. Free Armon Watts. Free Drew Samia. Free Oli Udo. Free everyone. Let's see what else here. Spiking Viking 1977. This guy beat out Sluter. No, his experience beat out Sluter. That's what you can't tell me at any point in the preseason games or in training camp where number 4 looked better than 1. Like you can't. You simply cannot. Um, all right. We'll wrap this up. That's the Vikings halftime show. Shout out to all the Jeromes who hung around and hopefully just mercifully make it through the rest of this game. All right. Skull production value.